Order the December 20th Winterville Planning and Zoning Board to order. Welcome to all of our board members, ones in person and those who are joining us via Zoom. As we get ready to complete our final meeting for this calendar year, we hope that everyone is safe and that you have a happy holidays. First item on the agenda, excuse absences.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We do not have any requests for excused absences, but I will fill you in on a resignation. We have Tucker Moore has resigned from the board. So we do have quite a few vacancies on the board. We are hoping to have some fresh faces with us next month. So hopefully we'll have council appoint some new membership at their regular scheduled meeting on the 10th. So by the time we get back in for our meeting next month, if we have one, we should have a full board by then. So if everything goes as smoothly as we hope it does, so we'll be taking those nominations to those applications to the town council next month. So hopefully we'll have our full board sitting with us January 18th, I think, is the meeting for next month. So. Oh yeah. I will like to add something to the agenda once you get to that part too. So. Okay.
All right. Thanks for that update. The next item is the approval of the agenda that you were sent by the staff.
So, Mr. Chair, before we move for approval, I would like to add, and we can add it wherever you guys want to, but the next meeting does conflict with a holiday, Martin Luther King Jr. holiday. So I would like the board to consider moving that date back or forward. Typically, moving it back a day would accommodate our regularly scheduled submittal deadlines and everything. So traditionally, we've moved it to the Tuesday afterwards. So we would do it Tuesday and have that meeting. And if we had a board of adjustment, we would just do it, consecutive meetings at that time. So.
Okay, I think we can add that as the number 3 in our new business.
Sounds good to me.
It requires a vote from the committee. All right. So we have an amended item for the agenda to discuss the January meeting. Now I entertain a motion for approval of the December 20th board agenda.
Second. Fleming.
You'll be the first.
Doug Killian, second.
I'm sorry.
No problem. Okay, it's been moved and properly second. We will have to vote by roll call. Please vote your pleasure upon roll call.
And before Don calls the roll call, just a reminder, make sure you guys are off of mute when you answer, please. Also, Darlene Gardner has joined us via Zoom.
Okay, thank you for your patience there as I get myself together on the amended agenda. Got all these sheets, I apologize. Mr. Monroe?
Aye.
Mr. Killian? Aye. Ms. Clyburn? Clyburn, do you hear us?
You're on mute, Ms. Peggy.
Mr. Fleming?
Aye.
Ms. Gardner?
Aye.
Mr. Weldon?
Aye.
Go back to Peggy. She's on.
Ms. Clyburn? Clyburn, do you hear us? Do we see?
Hold on 1 second.
1 second while we get Ms. Clyburn.
You are off mute, Peggy. There you go. Now give me a thumb or a yay or nay, Miss Peggy. Do you approve, Miss Peggy?
Aye.
All right.
I said aye, I'm sorry.
All right, there you go.
Thank
Perfect.
you.
All right, the next item is the approval of the last planning board meeting that was also included in your board packet. Had time to consider, we entertain a motion.
Doug Killian, motion approved.
Gardner,
Aye.
second.
Ms.
Motion
Gardner.
by Mr. Killian, second by Ms. Gardner. Please vote your pleasure upon roll call.
Dr. Monroe,
Aye.
Mr. Killian,
Aye.
Ms. Clyburn,
Aye.
thank you. Mr. Fleming,
Aye.
Ms. Gardner,
Aye.
Mr. Weldon.
Aye.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, new business, rezoning request, WLH Development. Staff?
All right, I'm gonna share my screen here. Everybody can see what you're looking at. All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. As always, it's a pleasure to be in front of you. Hope everybody's doing well tonight. So, as stated, the first item we have on the agenda for action is a rezoning request, and that is from WLH Development LLC. So this is located on Church Street Extension. That's north of its intersection with Park Road. So parcel number 77831. So about a little over 19 and a half acres. It's currently zoned agricultural residential, and the proposed zoning district is R10. So just some housekeeping items. Adjacent property owners were notified of the rezoning request on December 6th, and the notification was posted on site on December 1st. You see on the screen there, the one outlined in blue is our subject property. So you can see Church Street extension to the east, the Old 11 to the west, and then Park Road to the south, intersecting with Church Street. So you got Holly Grove over to the east, and then the just north of it would be our operations center with Public Works and Parks and Rec down there. So just a shot of the site. You can see this is looking on Church Street Extension. So the open field there is the subject property. So this is the railroad crossing looking back toward the property. This is on Park Road at its intersection with Old 11. So it's just looking back into the property. So you can see the dirt road, Park Road is the actual southern border of the property. Here's an aerial shot. You can see Park Road to the south, again Old 11 to the west, and Church Street Extension to the east. And there's your rezoning map, just showing a boundary outlined in blue there. So current zoning, as stated, is currently AR. You can see some general business to the north of it, and residential over in Holly Grove. And then you got the Shrine Club, which is O&I, and then south of Park Road is the one we saw just a few months ago with David Evans' property. That's zoned R8 conditional district. That's the one we did with the 10,000 square foot lots. So existing land use map is just vacant ag land right now. The future land use plan, it does, it's pointed out as a suburban residential character area. So looking at our land use plan, the suburban residential character area is a single lot, detached residential that generally speaking is 2 to 3 dwelling units per acre, fairly on the medium to large lot size. So diving into a little more detail in the suburban residential character area, you can see it is 1 to 3 dwelling units per acre for density. So lot coverage is low, going down to sidewalks. It does request sidewalks interior, just one side for the suburban residential. Potential zonings typically R20, R15, R12.5, or R10, or R8. So R10 fits in it. So just pulling out some of our recommendations and policies in the land use plan, reinforce the town's identity as family-friendly community, just meaning supporting rezonings to residential uses in the suburban residential and urban neighborhood areas as identified on the future land use map. Staff recommendations, plan staff does find this one is reasonable, that the request is reasonable in the public interest because proposed zoning district is compatible with the surrounding land uses and the future land use plan. Staff does recommend approval of the request to rezone 19.62 acres from AR to R10. And I say that with a caveat that knowing that they are going to be in the exact same boat as the property to the south of Park Road, that when it comes time to develop this property, there's still going to be a dirt road there. Council's already taken issue with that, with the southern property not having access or having access onto a dirt road. So I just want to bring that to your attention, although it does meet the rezoning requirements as far as the land use plan points out. I just wanted to make sure we were cognizant of the fact that it's going to be in the same boat. So hopefully there will be a solution between now and then, as you know, if the board sees fit to recommend approval. The rezoning process, public comments will now be entertained by this board, and then you guys will make a recommendation to town council. Public hearing will be scheduled at the January 10th meeting, and then subsequently the council will hold a public hearing regarding this request on February 14th, 2022. That's weird to say. We haven't received any comments, but with that, I'll answer any questions you guys have of me. If there are none, I will note that Mr. Linwood Stroud with Stroud Engineering is the project engineer. He's in attendance tonight, so if you got any questions for him.
Okay, so before we take any public comments, are there any questions or comments from the board?
I have a question. I just, if you could help me understand, and I don't want to dwell on Blueberry, but that was denied. So there's an issue facing this subdivision proposal. Can you help us understand what is going on with that issue?
So Park Road is what I call a unicorn. It's a state-maintained dirt road in town. So with the development regulations spelled out in the subdivision ordinance, if a subdivision abuts a state-maintained road, they have to provide access to that road per the ordinance. Well, DOT stance is the road will have to be brought up to standard to access it. So it's kind of a chicken or the egg type deal. So council did not feel comfortable giving approval of a subdivision that accesses a dirt road. We tried to accommodate both the developer and our statutory or our ordinance requirements by stubbing out, kind of quote unquote stubbing out to it and then providing emergency access. And you guys saw that plan. Council didn't like it. They wanted all or nothing. So it was one of those situations where I think the council felt like to move forward with that development, they needed to solve that problem beforehand. So it's going to take some work, whether it's between the developers and DOT or DOT is going to outright do it. So something needs to happen and something needs to move before I think council is going to feel comfortable going forward with an approval on a preliminary plat there. Does that make sense? End all be all, the dirt road's the problem. So
I think there was a comment coming from online. Ms. Garner, was that you?
Actually, that was my question, so thank you, Brian, for explaining it a little bit more. Thank you.
yes.
Okay, so the developer, sir, do you have anything you would like to add, or do we have any questions for our developer that's here in the audience?
Yes, sir. My name is Linwood Stroud. I do represent WLH Development, which is Lynn Evans is the managing partner for WLH Development. Regarding the dirt road issue, that is something that we are working on. We're in conversation with DOT, and the two developers of this property are in conversation with each other. So there's some alternatives we are considering. We understand that something has to be done about the dirt road to get it paved or some other solution to provide two accesses to both properties. I will point out that the Blueberry subdivision owned by David Evans, this rezoning request that we have for you tonight, the managing partner for WLH Development is Lynn Evans, who is David Evans' son, and they are actually talking to each other. So I think we will have an acceptable solution on the dirt road. So all we're asking tonight is for the rezoning to R10, which is compatible, as Brian said, with the ongoing development within this area. And by the time we get to preliminary plat on the WLH property, I think we'll have a solution in hand.
Thank you. Are there any other questions from board members? Again, our duty is to look at the request, rezoning request, and then, of course, ultimate approval falls upon the town council. So if there are no questions or comments, we'll entertain a motion regarding the rezoning request for the WLH development from an AR to an R10.
Mike Weldon, make a motion that we approve the zoning change.
I second that.
Okay, it's been moved by Mr. Weldon, second by Ms. Clyburn.
Aye.
Please vote your pleasure upon our roll call.
Dr. Monroe.
Aye.
Mr. Killian,
Aye.
Ms. Clyburn,
Aye.
Mr. Fleming,
Aye.
Ms. Gardner,
Aye.
Mr. Weldon.
Aye.
All right, thank you, Mr. Stroud. The next item in new business is the preliminary plat for Brookstone Phase 2.
All right, moving right along. So Brookstone Phase 2 is located on Church Street, south of its intersection with Park Road, very close proximity to the property we're just talking about. Parcel number is 70650. This is about a 27-acre site with 49 lots proposed, and the current zoning there is R10 as well. So a little bit of site history, you guys will remember, this one's been around for a while, so the initial rezoning for this one was way back in 2006. They had a preliminary plat on the books that was approved in 2006, May of 2006, and the final plat was approved in 2007. So moving forward, we knew they were going to have to, the time frame of that had passed substantial, so they knew that we were going to have to come back with a preliminary plat to you guys just to make sure everything was in line. They went back for a rezoning in June of this year. That was approved to an R10, so the existing zoning out there was changed to the R10, yeah. So here's a shot of just a stub out going to that property. So this is standing in Phase 1, going into Phase 2, so you can see it opens up. Sorry I don't have a better picture for you, but that's all I could get because they actually had it blocked off when I went out there. So this actually was pulled off of Google Street View, so this was actually better than what I could get. But here's an aerial of the photo, or the property. You can see existing Brookstone to the east, to the west, and then the property outlined in blue would be where the proposed preliminary plat is. So there's an overlay of it, so you can see the lots out there and steel interior, the blue highlighted. So just items of note, so they've got stub out street to the south going to this property and a stub out street going east into what's known as, we refer to it as the UNC property. So just a better shot of it so you guys can see a little bit better, and you guys also had it in your agenda packets. But that's all I've got for you. If you got any questions, I'd be happy to answer. And again, Mr. Linwood Stroud with Stroud Engineering is the project engineer. He can answer any technical questions that need to be answered.
Just for
Brian, what did you say the stub out, that second stub out goes to where? I couldn't understand you.
Oh, no, it's fine. What we refer to as the UNC property. It's property owned by UNC Chapel Hill Real Estate Foundation. So
Okay,
it's about
gotcha.
250 acres that's going to be, it's prime development. So there will be some development over there, and so it was crucial we got that stub out there, and crucial that we got the one to the south, because it's some fairly large tracts there, and without those stub outs, you would be going, around your thumb to get to your, around your elbow to get to your thumb. So if, for instance, if you had to go down Church Street down to Reedy Branch, you would be going approximately a mile and a half to get to that southern property.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Okay, any other questions? Comments? Mr. Stroud, anything you'd like to add?
No, sir, not unless you've got some questions, I don't think I have anything.
Okay, Mr. Stroud had no comments. Are there any questions, comments from the board? If there be none, we're entertaining a motion for the preliminary plat for Brookstone Phase 2.
Fleming, I so move.
Gillian, second.
Okay, it's been moved and properly second. Please vote your pleasure upon roll call.
Dr. Monroe,
Aye.
Mr. Killian,
Aye.
Ms. Clyburn,
Aye.
Mr. Fleming,
Aye.
Ms. Gardner,
Aye.
Mr. Weldon.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. We do have the amended item number 3, the removal of the January meeting from the Monday, which falls on the MLK holiday, to date pushback. That the staff proposal was for the Tuesday following that Monday?
Yes, so right now it would be regularly scheduled for January 17th, which falls on the holiday. So historically, it's moved back to that Tuesday, which would be January 18th. So my recommendation to the board would be to tentatively schedule it for January 18th. And the time is up to you guys. If you want to keep it at 7, that's fine. We can do that, and then we'll just, if we have a board of adjustment, we'll just roll with that after we get done with ours.
Okay. What is the pleasure of the board?
Motion approved, Doug Gillian,
What date?
the 18th,
Okay.
7 o'clock.
Okay, so we have a motion to move the January meeting from the 17th through to the 18th at the time of 7 o'clock. Can we get a second?
Mike Weldon, I second it.
Okay, please vote your pleasure upon roll call.
Dr. Monroe,
Aye.
Mr. Killian,
Aye.
Ms. Clyburn,
Aye.
Mr. Fleming,
Was that Tuesday, the 18th at 7 p.m.?
That's
Yes.
correct.
Aye.
Ms. Gardner,
Aye.
Mr. Weldon.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. That concludes our new business staff report.
I don't have anything specific to report on. I would like to say that this year's been super productive, and I thank each and every one of you guys for your help and your participation through this board. And I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holiday. So, thank you, guys.
Thank you. Any questions, comments from the board?
You know I always got one. I'm sorry, but we're here for such a short time, and I don't want to hold you long, but
No, you're fine.
is there anything the Planning and Zoning Board can do to assist you in getting the standards that were brought up in the future land use incorporated into the subdivision law? And you know the one that's near and dear to my heart is
Sure.
sidewalks.
Sure. So,
Is there something we can do to assist you in that issue?
you're going to assist by looking over the proposed amendments, probably if not in January, to be February. So I've got a marked up copy and a summary pretty long. That thing is antiquated and outdated anyway, so not only do we need to incorporate some land use plan stuff in there, but we need to get there's a few 160D items we need to address in it, and then just some general formatting, and then just bringing it up to speed with, the tools we have at our disposal right now. Some of the stuff actually talks about DXF files, which if anybody, I don't even know what that is anymore. It's a floppy disk or something, I guess. But yeah, but hopefully I'm going to be, my anticipated goal is to have it in front of you in January. If not, it'll be February, just depending on how things fold out with staff's review and, town manager's approval, so.
Thank you. Right.
Any other, yes,
Got another issue.
Okay.
Another question, I'm sorry. Can you help me understand what is going on in the various subdivisions we have in process? For example, Main and 11 in Eli's Ridge. I see action. Can you help us update what's going on?
So Eli's Ridge, they're hot and heavy building houses in there now. You can see one, they've already gotten probably a half a dozen or so zoning permits in there to build houses. They're starting on their amenity center in the back. They've got the pool dug. They've already, they should be, I think they actually blew concrete in that this week. So you'll start seeing that actually come out of the ground before long. But I would anticipate seeing a lot of action there to come in months, especially getting into the springtime where those guys can really start moving. 11 at Main, you see a lot of dirt being pushed around out there. They've got their stormwater ponds in. They're working on their street networks, and they've got some issues with some sewer stuff going on right now, so they're trying to get permits from the state to actually get sewer put in the ground. So they're actually working on that stuff right now, but they're anticipated to be starting building out there in springtime. So I think April's their goal to start actually coming out of the ground with houses too, so.
Brian, do you have any feeling how our building permit situation was in 2020 versus 2021?
Yeah, I actually just looked at it not long ago. So we did approximately 50 single-family homes in 2020. This year, we were in the range of 75. So it was a little uptick in it. I think the supply chain kind of slowed everything down at the last part of the year. I anticipate it probably being well above that number in 2022, so.
Thank you.
all right. So Doug had nothing else. Anyone else have any other board members? Okay, if there be no questions, comments from the board, we entertain a motion to adjourn till our January regular meeting.
Gardner, I make a motion that we adjourn this meeting for December 20th, 21. Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Ms. Gardner, second by Ms. Clyburn. Please vote your pleasure upon roll call.
Dr. Monroe,
Aye.
Mr. Killian,
Aye.
Ms. Clyburn,
Aye.
Mr. Fleming,
Merry Christmas and have a Happy New Year. Aye.
Ms. Gardner,
Aye.
and Mr. Weldon.
Aye.
Thank you very much, and happy holidays and Happy New Year to each of you all.
All right, thank you. Likewise
Happy
to all the board
holidays.
members. Have a happy,
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Thank you. Mhm.